All right. State of mind. I'm a little nervous today. A little more than usual, because I have somebody here who is. I hate to say legend because that's so. I don't know what that is. He's done movies. He's written a book. Let's put the cards on the table. Well, first I want to say this. When I text him and I said, I'm real intimidated because, you're so worldly or whatever I said, he said, let's just shoot the shit.
Exactly.
So that calmed me down. But Mr. Eric Braeden is here. He's not just the man on Young and the Restless or soap operas. He is the man in the history of soap operas. Let's just put the cards right there. That's just the way it is. Anyway, what's up, Eric?
Brother, I was very happy when you called me. And of course, I said yes immediately. I respect you enormously, respect your work, and here we are.
Dang.
Brothers in arms, you know.
Thank you for being here. I really
Been doing the same thing for how long now?
Well, you've been doing it. I've been doing it 20, no, but on General Hospital 29 years.
I've been in the business since 62, 1962. So we're talking about 40, yeah. No, we're talking 62, my God. How about over 60 years now?
No.
Yeah. My first film was in 1962. A dreadful film called Operation Eichmann. They had just caught Adolf Eichmann in Argentina. And Werner Klemperer, who played Colonel Klink on Hogan's Heroes.
Yeah. I love Hogan.
Played Eichmann. And the tragically ironic thing is that Werner Klemperer was the son of a German Jew, Otto Klemperer, who was a 6'5" giant and a conductor. And Werner was condemned to play Nazis.
Yeah.
And he had been kicked out of Germany. Anyway, that was the first step into the water, 1962.
Okay, on State of Mind, I think it's going to go here, it goes there, it goes everywhere, and I love it. I said, we're going to go right into this. You have worked with people. I'm so jealous. No, I'm serious. Who you have worked with. So I'm going to go straight here, and that is Marlon Brando.
Yep.
Please tell me, Eric, whatever you want.
Well, by your acting, I can sense that you sort of,
yes,
he was an idol of yours.
Yeah, Al Pacino, Marlon Brando, right?
And Brando, I did a film with him called MAURICE, 1965, at 20th. It was called MAURICE te salutans, that means we who are about to die salute you. It was Caesar said that. And about the Second World War, and took place on a ship, and we filmed it off Catalina Island on a New Zealand boat with a Chinese crew. And every day, 200 extras on the ship. Wow. I played a radio operator, a German radio operator. And Brando played a German spy.
Oh.
And we talked a lot about German history. He had done the Young Lions before.
Yeah.
So he was very interested in history of the Second World War, history of Germany. And we talked a lot about prejudices, and we talked a lot about American Indians.
Yeah.
And the treatment of Native Americans. Yeah. And so we talked mostly about history and politics, rarely about acting.
I said, you didn't like acting.
So, no, it's so funny. I said, he says, listen, you're too bright. Don't become an actor. Something else. This is just you. I said, why do you say that, man? I said, you're an iconic figure. All of us.
Yes.
You're the iconic figure amongst actors in the world.
Right.
In the world.
Yes.
And he said, I said, how was the actor's studio? How was that experience? He said, I picked up a lot of women. So, so do you honestly think Lee Strasberg was going to tell him shit?
No.
Of course not. Nothing. You know? So he was arguably one of the most charismatic figures I've ever met in my life.
And why? Why would you?
That's an inner power. An inner power.
Inner power.
Inner power. An inner anger at what I've no
Ooh.
idea, but it's an inner power.
And you said he didn't care what people thought of him.
No, couldn't care less. He was, in that sense, you could have said he was a sociopath. He didn't care what anyone said. Couldn't care less. Couldn't care less. And he disliked the medium in which he was brilliant. Absolutely. One of the most prodigiously gifted actors I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But he was also very sadistic. He had a scene where he had to go in the bowels of the ship down to the engine room. It took them all day to set that up. The director was Bernard Vicky, a German guy, who directed a famous small film called The Bridge, and at the end of the Second World War. And he had a heart problem. And he was always nervous, and we're about to shoot now. Is Marlon ready? Yeah. And they waited 8 hours to get the shot set up. Very careful lighting and all that. And 4:15, they're ready. Yeah, get Marlon now. So Marlon comes out. Yeah, Marlon, I want you to up here. Then you go down to the engine, and then you do this, and then you walk up again, yeah? Yeah, okay. Hold it a minute, 1 second. Okay. So finally, he does, right? Now, by this time, it's about 3 minutes to 4. Time had gone by between him coming to the set and the shot. So he walks down the stairs, gets to that point, looks at his watch. See you tomorrow.
No.
Because he had a 4 o'clock out. He had a 4 o'clock out.
Wow.
I've never seen anything like it. I felt sorry for the director, sorry for the crew, sorry.
Yeah, right.
And was not a little bit, but rather embarrassed about that.
So he wouldn't take 10 more minutes to...
No, because part of him resented the business, resented producers, resented studios. I have no idea where that came from. I don't understand it. And that is one of those stories. Otherwise, we threw the football to each other at 20th Century Fox, when 20th was still a studio.
Yeah.
With the entire backlot of Century City. There was all backlot.
Wow.
Wasn't Century City yet.
Mm.
So
now, how do you feel about? Because I'm working, and I think I'm getting there at my age, not caring what people think, because I believe somebody who's mentally ill, and I want to get into this with you too. How where you grew up, how did they view mental health? But I think a lot of my problem has been that I cared way too much what people think. I don't know where you stand there. You seem to me like you don't care what people think, or do you?
well, that isn't true.
Oh,
Because that is not true. I cannot say that. That's an interesting question.
because I'm feeling free now, not caring as much.
Well, I don't care that much,
Okay.
but I'm defiant. In other words, if you don't like it, it's okay, really? You don't? Come here, brother. Do you understand? It
Yes.
depends on how I'm approached.
I'm the same.
In the end, I don't care. In the end, I don't care. In the end, I've learned a long time ago, as a kid in school.
Did you work on not caring, or
No,
you just it
no.
happened? It
I
came.
lost my father when I was 12,
Yes.
and I was very close to him. And I grew up with 3 brothers. We fought all the time. I had to rein that in. not to say, hey, what do you want?
Yeah.
And it was tough after the war. You can imagine, a lot of poverty around you, a lot of hard work, hard work. I've earned my money since I was 12 years old.
Damn.
Farms and everything. And so you grow up, you become your own father. When you lose your father at that age, you become defiant and angry,
Mhm.
and you resent authority or arbitrarily imposed authority.
Mm.
I will still do that with directors. I said, what did you say just now? Come here. Don't you talk to me like that, okay?
Yeah,
I will
right.
still do that. Always have done that, from early on.
Yeah.
Not caring whether I lost a job or not. I will not take shit from anyone.
Wow.
And that has served me well over the years. I have used whatever neuroses or whatever one has, I've never thought about it particularly. I've used it. I've used my anger in acting.
Yeah, sure.
And I think what makes you interesting as an actor is with you also one feels a threat.
Yeah.
One feels an underlying threat. And I think that comes from an early deep hurt
Yes.
of saying, you know,
But you're absolutely right.
you become very sensitized to that. I mean, I challenged a teacher. I was about 14.
Yeah.
And I just knocked someone out after gym class. And a teacher came in. I said, you want something to do? I was 14. And that led to them wanting to throw me out of school. So then they came over to visit my mother. And she very wisely said, how do you think I deal with 4 of those strong-headed boys? And you as men can't deal with 1. That made sense.
Dang.
It kept me in school.
Wow.
But I was also good in sports. That helped me a great deal. You know, discus and javelin and shot and track and field.
Oh.
And mostly track and field. But I was good in gymnastics and everything.
Wow.
And that served me well.
And what about school? How was school?
School was not very good teachers, very strict teachers.
Right.
Guys who'd come back from the Second World War. Tough guys. Harsh. Military. Boom. Discipline. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I rebelled against it all. I was good in English, always, good in languages. Very good, strange enough, in reciting poetry and reading aloud. In German school, you are tested on how well you interpret a classical text, or any text they give you. Be it Thomas Mann, Schiller, Goethe, whatever it is. I was very good at that. Why, I don't know. I have no clue.
Yes. I mean,
No clue. None.
now reading out loud for me was horrible. And I was in school. All I did is cheat all my way through school.
Really?
Oh yeah, high school. Cheated every day.
No kidding.
Even got caught.
Yeah.
And even now, I'm not sure whether I graduated or not because my wife says I didn't because they were looking through something. So I think I did, but anyway, but to stand up in front of class, you could do that. You could just recite.
It didn't bother me.
Dang.
I mean, one had the normal kind of anxiety, as everyone does
Yeah.
when you perform, but it didn't bother me beyond that. I then got into it, you know, and I don't know why. My brothers don't have that. They were never asked, really. My father was mayor of the town I grew up in, and he gave speeches, maybe from him. I never heard one of them. He died too early, and I don't know. I don't know why. But as a boy, it was lonely, long nights
Yeah.
in northern Germany.
Yeah.
It was bloody cold. You know, it's Hamlet weather.
Yeah.
And having nothing. We had no hot running water,
Wow.
no central heating, all that, you know. And the thing that saved me, girls and sports. That's what saved me.
I love it.
Seriously. Looking forward to,
Yeah.
I was always in love.
Yeah.
but looking forward to meeting with them, to have a rendezvous with them on a bicycle in the
Yeah.
cold winter, throwing on rocks at the window. She would come down. Understand? That was just
Yeah.
filled my heart with joy.
I was going through your book again, and I learned more history than I think I ever have in any school that I've been in. But um, as I was, this is just it was a moment. As I read in your book that you were 12 when your dad died,
Uh-huh.
a song came on. I was listening to music, and exactly that moment that I read that, a song came on by Peter Gabriel called "Father and Son,"
Ah,
and I started crying, man.
yeah,
It was like a beautiful moment,
yeah.
but it was a deep moment because my father just died 6 months ago.
Mm.
But right when I was reading your little passage, this song comes on, and I was like, "Oh, woo!" Just thought I'd throw that in.
Yeah.
Um, let's talk about rage. Well, I mean, we kind of talked about it, but you and I seem to have that, and I think you hit it on the spot. It comes from something that's happened when you were very young.
Yes, but sports taught me to control it.
Good point.
I boxed early on for a while, but then I had too many concussions from sports between 9 and 12.
Yeah.
Anyway, sports taught me to control it. And sports also taught me to control one's emotions when you have to perform. Because in whatever you do, the team that we won the German Youth Championship of the entirety of Germany. And Germany was very good in sports and track and field, so we had a hell of a team. So you learn to really focus. When you throw the discus or the shot put or javelin, whatever the case may be, also ran the 400, you learn to focus. Boom.
Yes. Yes.
Boom. And there's no bullshit. That's it.
But
No
Eric,
bullshit. You performed.
don't you think it's also? I mean, I think I've realized this now, and I've heard it my whole career, my whole life. Relaxation is the key, man.
So what?
Relaxation to relax.
Oh yeah, but I relax.
Yeah. See,
No, I relax.
You are relaxed. That's
After
beautiful.
sports, I relax. It's the best pill in the world.
I know it is.
Sex and sports. Two best pills in the world. The drugs is all bullshit. It's nonsense.
I'm with you.
It's
I'm with you.
yes, it's
Yes, that feeling you get right after.
what's that beautiful? Oh my God. I mean, that is sometimes so intense that I think I claim that some of the first moments of spirituality in people come from that intimate moment.
Yes.
I mean it.
No, I'm with you.
It's whoa. People don't talk about it very often, but that's when you feel a kind of oneness with someone else, and sports relaxes me. I still box a lot,
But
now
Eric,
only in the heavy bag.
I'm with you on this because I boxed for 25 years. Here's what happened to me. We'll get into a little mental health now. I was boxing, and I haven't boxed since the pandemic. I had a rough time during the pandemic with horrible anxiety that happened, but I haven't boxed, and I'm much better. It seems like without boxing. What happened is, I think with boxing, the stress from feeling like I'm going to get hit and so exhausted and always the fear of my hands would shake. I get that I love boxing like you love boxing.
Walking into the ring, as my old coach Henry Davis down 70th and Hoover would say, Eric, walking in the ring is like walking through fire.
I know.
And it is. It really is. Look, we all have fears.
Yes.
It's a question of overcoming them. And it's okay, boom. And when when the first thing has been thrown,
I get it.
you get over it.
I get it.
Now I don't spar anymore.
Oh.
I hit the heavy bag.
Yeah, that's what I do. That's all right.
I don't
fine with that. But getting in the ring, Maybe for somebody who suffers from bipolar and anxiety and
Now,
all
let
that.
me ask you, what is bipolar exactly?
Bipolar is there's no really. It's a chemical imbalance. Could be from hereditary. Um, when I go through a manic episode, well, I'll just talk about the last one. The last time I had a nervous breakdown, I quit. It's right when I started General Hospital. 3 weeks in, I quit. I wanted to become a preacher, walk around with no shoes on.
By the way, I had that desire as well, but
Oh, you did?
long before, when I
All
was
right.
14, 15. But let's
That's
go
a
on. Tell me more.
And then what happened in that time, it was a bad situation because a lot went on and I get emotional. But I realized that I was abused, and then that I abused my little dogs that I had. That's when I realized that one night. And then I went and got some wine, drank the whole bottle of wine, and then I threatened to kill my wife.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and I've never seen it. Maybe in movies. Her knees were under the table. That's She was crying, and I said, "If you keep crying, I'm going to kill you." But she says, because I was on Oprah talking about this. Oprah said, "Did you think he was going to kill you?" And my wife said, "I didn't know." And I'm like, because in my mind, even during that manic episode, I believe that I'm playing a game, but she doesn't know. She's scared, and she said it wasn't him. He had black eyes. He looked different.
What a trip, man.
Eric, I've been on my medication. I feel like we're in this therapy session.
Yeah.
I've been on my medication for 30 years, haven't had a breakdown. The only thing that scares me is anxiety. But I got to tell you, because anxiety is like Freddy Krueger right here. And when anxiety comes, I've been off 2 planes during the pandemic, wanted to end my life every day because anxiety scares the fuck out of me. Do you have anxiety?
Only very specific.
Yeah.
You and I are in this wonderful profession where we have to learn a lot of lines.
Yes.
And sometimes you say, oh shit, I look at it too late,
Yes.
I said,
oh, yeah, right.
Then I feel a little anxiety.
Okay.
Little.
Yeah.
Felt a lot of anxiety, always, before opening night in the theater.
Oh, man.
I did Broadway in 1965 with Geraldine Page and Kurt Jürgens and Clarence Williams III at the Eugene O'Neill Theater in New York. And I made the extreme mistake of looking through the curtain, see who was sitting in the front row. Right? Tennessee Williams, Lee Strasberg, Kirk Douglas, and Bancroft sitting there. And I looked and I said, I suddenly felt like an absolute fraud. I said, what the fuck am I doing here? I've been in the country at that time for about 6 years, 5, 6 years. And I said, what am I doing here? Never been as panicked in my life. So from there, I looked at it and I said, oh my God. So I got so panicked that I went to the stage door and I said, I'm a little boy from Germany. The fuck cares? I just disappear into the night in New York. I have an understudy. I literally was that panicked. So then I thought, well, you can't do that. So then I was sharing a dressing room with Logan Ramsey, a Southern actor. He said, son, you nervous? I said, am I nervous? You got anything to drink? He said, I'll get some brandy. Small brandy. I drank the whole fucking bottle.
No.
Yes. Didn't make a dent because I was playing competitive soccer then on the side.
Yeah.
And I ran up and down the stairs to calm down. It didn't make a dent. Nothing worked. I said, oh my God, I was panicked.
That's yeah.
Really panicked.
Yes.
So then suddenly this defiant thing came up in me. And I went back and opened the curtain and said, you sons of bitches will not intimidate me. No one will intimidate me. And that is what carried me on stage.
Now, see, that's a panic attack, right?
Totally.
But the thing that people don't understand is what you felt in that moment. I don't know how long it was, an hour, right?
15, 20 minutes.
When you suffer from what I suffer from, that feeling, Eric,
Right.
which I say to people, just recently somebody asked me, what's it like? I said, it's like getting in the ring with Mike Tyson for 2 rounds, and he's going to come at you. Okay? It's 2 rounds, but he's going to come at you hard. That feeling, Eric, never leaves. That feeling doesn't leave. You had the feeling. I know you just expressed it.
Right.
So it stays with you. It used to, in the past, it's a day, a week. This last one during the pandemic, 4 months. So why do you want to live?
It doesn't stay with me.
No, that's kind of normal. That's cool, right? You can get anxiety attack, and then it's over in a couple hours, whatever. This one did not leave. And look, I did it for 4 months. Some people, Eric, live with it every day of their life. But wow.
Wow, that's an imprisonment.
Yes. Crippling, Eric.
I had it again about 10 years ago. I did 12 monologues from 9 Shakespearean plays. 12 in one evening, right? And I was cramming monologues. Now it's the winter of our discontent, And as the evening came closer, I would wake up at night and go to the John and say, well, there's no one in the mind to suffer the slings and now somebody's from Macbeth, from Othello, from Hamlet, from Henry V, etc., Richard III. And worse and worse and worse. And for the first time in my life, never felt anything like it. I felt as if my vision became a tunnel.
Yes.
Does that ring a bell?
Yes.
Never had that before in my life.
Nah.
So it's like a tunnel. Boom. I thought, Jesus Christ, now I think I know what some people feel like. Talk about that. So then, on the drive to the theater, I thought, well, fuck it. Here I am. I may follow my ass. I may follow my ass. And that back and forth.
Yeah.
With saying, screw it,
yeah.
and saying, oh shit, what am I doing? Do you understand?
That's what you have to do, yeah.
Bastion is back and forth. Sitting in the dressing room, they said, sir, you have half an hour. Now it's the winter of our discontent, make no summer by the sun of okay. You have 15 minutes. Display, fiction, a dream of passion. And I hear them, people coming into the theater, right? You hear it.
Yeah.
As you know, we actors are so acutely aware of everything going on us. Acutely aware.
Acutely.
And then suddenly, and that comes from sports. I knew I had to perform. Whether you like it or not, I had to do it.
Yeah.
So they said, okay, fuck it, let's go. And then when I was out, and in Shakespeare monologues, it's so difficult. You know, we actors have a third ear.
Yeah, yeah.
Third eye.
Yeah.
We observe ourselves.
Yeah, of course.
And we know when we are real and when we are full of shit.
Yes.
We know that.
Yes.
I know you know.
Yeah, I do.
You're a good actor.
I
know you know. And you know the moment, oh God, there's not no.
Yeah.
From a views of fire, whatever. And so, and then you begin to recognize people in the audience. You know, then you look away, and then all this plays in your head. It's pop, 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 pop.
Yeah.
And yet you stay focused somehow. And when I was finished with it all, I have never in my life felt such utter relief.
Yeah.
Utter relief. I invited whoever was there. I said, let's go to a restaurant in Santa Monica.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Pay for everything. I was so relieved. I saw LA the next day. I said, what a beautiful city.
Right,
What a great.
right.
I was so relieved.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
But it's the sports that has given you that other
Yes.
strength.
Yes.
Um,
Now, talking about, I'm sorry to say that, but there's so much to talk about because you ask such interesting questions. Talking about sports. When I played for the Maccabees, we played in the highest league at that time in America. We won the U.S. Championship in 1973. But whenever we had a big game, the night before, I would already to envision games. You envision this play, that play, blah, blah, blah. And then I went to a meditation class
ooh.
in the 60s.
Yeah.
It was some Indian
Yeah.
mystic guy.
Mhm.
And I learned how to meditate. And before one game, I meditated. And I was so calm. I didn't care anymore. It was like, I guess I don't like pot. I tried
Yeah.
it 2 or 3 times.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
like it.
Yeah.
But it was like that. I guess it's a complete feeling of relaxation. And I played like shit
Ooh.
to relax. Much too relaxed. So I stopped it before games.
But you can meditate after the game.
I meditate right now. I can sit here right now and meditate. Right now. Boom. And
I know
but I stopped it before working out or before
Yeah,
playing
yeah.
games. It relaxes me too much.
too much.
So why am I doing this?
Right.
You know?
I find with meditation that if I tell everybody this, meditation's great, right?
Wonderful.
But when you've gotten to the point with mental illness where I say you want to stay in first, second gear, you go to third gear, you're all right. Don't go to fourth, and if you're in fifth, where I've been many times, you're fucked. Nothing helps, Eric. No meditation. No, the only thing that helped me, and I'm not a doctor, whatever, is Lexapro. That saved my life during the anxiety, and because I was at times doing this, Eric. Have you ever? And I'm like, I've never done this. Shake, and I said to my wife, "What is going on?" She goes, "It's fine. Yeah, it's fine. But why am I shaking?" Okay, and lithium for my bipolar. I haven't had a breakdown in 30 years. But now I'm meditating. You got to stop it before it comes. Now
You mean you got to stop the anxiety?
Yeah, the way to prevent anxiety is not to have it happen.
Right.
So I meditate. I do this. I'm talking to you. I don't do yoga, but everybody tells me to do yoga. I work out, and that's how you prevent it, because you don't want to get in fourth and fifth gear.
See, what you're describing, I don't know. I know feelings thereof, as we discussed, but I don't know that point.
Yeah, that's a bad
There's
point.
always a point where I get into control. It's always a point where I control it.
I know, Eric, and I do that too.
Yeah.
But sometimes something happens, it just takes me.
Right.
It takes me.
Right.
And I can't bring it back.
Yeah, interesting.
When I thought I was out, they pull me back in.
Yeah. But you see, that what you right now, that's what makes you a good actor. You see? Yeah.
I want to talk to you about, this has been a really, for me.
By the way, all the
Yeah.
good actors, all the good artists have pain in them,
I know,
have anger.
I know, Eric.
All of them.
But life is a bitch.
It can be.
My health is not good from being this kind of actor.
Yeah.
You get me? I mean,
I love it.
I wish I mean, I love parts early on. I loved it.
Don't you love when you do a good scene?
Do you know what, Eric? Just recently, I do good scenes, and I swear to God, my producer was right there, and he goes, "What's wrong?" I said, "It fucking hurts." And he laughed, because we have a good relationship, Frank. And I said, "It hurts, man. It gets fucking pain in there."
How does it hurt you then? It's interesting.
Because it digs deep in there, and
Although you know that you have done a good scene.
Yes.
You and I know
yeah,
that there are moments,
Yeah.
scenes where you say,
yeah.
this is it.
But maybe it's because I've been doing this for so long.
it's still, I love it. I'm 81 years old.
Good. That's beautiful.
I still love it.
Beautiful.
When I do a good scene and
Yeah.
it seems real on both
Yeah.
sides, I say, great. Did my
It
day's work.
should be that way.
If it's not like that, I say, shit. God damn it. Then I'm in the dressing room and I sit there sometimes and I say, wait a minute. Replay that in my head. I said, that's how I should have done it. That's how I should have done it. I still have that. But generally speaking, I feel great satisfaction afterwards if it's done well.
You know what? I did feel great satisfaction for like 20 years.
Really?
In the last 10 years, it's sometimes, yeah, I'm not going to lie. It feels, but, it just always hits stuff in me.
Really?
And I don't know, I don't want to put this on mental illness,
Uh,
but maybe it's that.
Is it that you're not happy with it, or what is it? Don't you have the same feeling after a good scene that don't you?
Yes, I have a good, and it's not always, but recently it's happened where I do these good scenes. I know it's good acting.
Right.
Because the actor in front of me shakes my hand and goes, damn.
Right.
And then I walk away and I go, okay, it hurts. It feels.
You feel it in the gut?
Yes.
No kidding.
Yes.
See, and I feel just, whew,
Damn.
that's funny.
I wish.
Yeah.
And it's not all the time. I'm not saying that. Now people are going to write and go, oh, now you hate acting. You hate General Hospital.
Oh, he doesn't hate acting.
It's not like that. It's
He's
not
a damn
like
good
that.
actor. He loves acting.
Yes. I love overall, like Brando said, he hated acting.
Well, he doesn't. He didn't. He couldn't have hated it
Yeah, that's what I
and
said.
been that good.
Okay.
Couldn't have hated it. It was just not enough for him. I think what Marlon
You got bored?
I think what Marlon was, yes. What he was about is he had so many things to play and say.
Yeah.
His stardom limited him. His enormous stardom limited him.
Right.
And you and I both know that, our roles limit us to a certain degree.
Yeah, of course.
And otherwise we would go fucking bananas.
Yeah.
So I think he simply had too much to express.
Yeah.
You know?
Titanic, what the beautiful thing about Titanic for me, Eric, and what you did, and doing the movie is fantastic and great, but the fact that, because I don't have, I want to say balls, but I guess you say balls, the strength you had to go into auditions and leave, and I'm like a scared kid when I audition. I used to be. I'm better now.
Right.
But oh no.
If they give me any condescending shit, I say, wait a minute. Here. If they're late, I said, I was here on time. You be on time. Is that clear? So, oh yeah, this casting director, I come in.
Right.
And first I told the secretary, I said, look, I've been waiting for 10 minutes. I leave in 2 minutes if she's not here.
That's amazing.
She calls in, okay, go in. I go in. She looks at me and says, what are you doing here? I said, I just asked myself the same question. You have a good day. Goodbye. Walked out. I said, so, agency calls. Oh, they apologize and would love you to come back. And then I said, no, come back. So over and over again. So 4 weeks later, I said, why would I come back? No, James Cameron, blah, 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 blah. I didn't realize that he had watched Colossus, the Foreman Project, the film I had started at Universal Studios. He loved it. I said, one more time, I show up. So I asked the agent, I said, give me some background on John Jacob Astor. And so the next day I sat at Warner Brothers in the parking lot. I was 20 minutes early, and I read about John Jacob Astor, a fascinating character.
Okay.
The Astor family comes from near Heidelberg in Germany.
Right.
And they came to America, and they traded furs.
Right.
They bought most of Manhattan. So, fascinating character. The wealthiest man in America at the time. So I thought, this is interesting. So I go into the casting. She was there on time this time. I came into this empty room. There's a little camera. like your camera here,
Right, right.
small little camera. And she said, okay, read these 2 lines. I said, what the fuck can you tell from 2 lines? She said, okay, turn the camera. Turns it on. Say the 2 lines. I said, keep rolling. Now let me tell you about John Jacob Astor. And I started talking about what I just read in the parking lot.
Yes, yeah.
Anyway.
I love that.
So I walked out and said, goodbye. I walked out. So anyway, now they wanted me for it. I'm on the plane, LAX,
Right.
plane to San Diego. And I reread the script. The only reason I even considered it is because my son, film director and writer, said, this is James Cameron, you've got to do it. I said, I don't give a damn who it is. My wife says, you've got to do it. I mean, there's James Cameron. I said, I don't give a damn who it is. I don't know, 2 lines? The fuck? So I'm sitting on the plane, I'm reading it, and we were 20 minutes, they couldn't take off for one reason or another. I read the script, and I said, what the fuck am I doing here? So I said to the stewardess, come here for a minute. I said, can I get off? She says, well, is it an emergency? I said, well, no. We can't. I said, okay. So we fly to San Diego. Swear to God. Get off the plane in San Diego, and I was supposed to read a sign called Titanic. Someone had a Titanic sign there. That was the driver.
Right.
So I see this disheveled hippie, long hair, the sign askew like this, sort of Titanic. And I said, well, this doesn't bode well. So, okay. So I go up, I said, hello, Eric Braeden. We drive through Tijuana.
Right.
So on the way, I said, start a conversation. I said, where are you from? Well, originally LA, but I live in Tijuana. I said, oh, yeah. So he said, so you're going to work with this big asshole? I said, who? Oh, you know, the director. I said, really? Because I'm allergic to directors like that. I go right after them.
Right.
Don't hold back. Oh, yeah, man. What an asshole. I said, really? So we now drive through Tijuana on the way to Rosarito Beach.
I know Rosarito.
Right. So go to the hotel. I thought, what am I doing here? I'm just about to call my agent and said, I'm going to come back. I can't do this. I'm not going to work with someone who's a dictator. Yeah. So then they called me and says, will you come to the set for wardrobe, measurements and all that? So, okay. So I came to the set and I thought, whoa, what a set they had built.
Oh.
I'm telling you, they had built the Titanic.
No.
One side completely. I said, whoa, this is incredible. And they built everything down there. Water tanks, everything. It's just extraordinary. Wow. So then I came to the wardrobe department, man and a woman, introduced themselves, very nice. So the man says, measuring me, he says, you're looking forward to working with the biggest asshole in the world? I said, hold on for a minute. I said, are you serious? Oh, man. I said, that's the biggest dick I've ever... I said, are you serious? I said, stop measuring me for a moment. This does not bode well. So then an assistant came and said, Mr. Braeden, would you come and meet the producers? They're on the set shooting, and James would like to meet you. I thought, well, let's see. At least be courteous enough to do that. So I go to the set, talk to the producers, very nice. And suddenly behind me, on the shoulder, Cameron says, I'm James Cameron. I'm so happy you're here. I loved you and da-da-da-da. He took the piss out of me. Mm. And I thought, very nice seeing you. So then I changed my mind. He couldn't have been nicer with me.
Oh, really?
I have such respect for the man.
Yeah.
He's a brilliant director.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely brilliant director. So then, at a later stage, I'd do a take with Leo DiCaprio and a woman he was married to. And they came out, we finished the take, and Cameron says, never. And I'm ready to, I said, what do you mean never? He says, that's the last line in Colossus, the film I did.
Ah.
Such a big fan.
Yeah.
I'd forgotten about that. I thought he was going to criticize the scene.
Sure.
So Wonderful.
What did you see in DiCaprio?
A brilliant actor.
In one little moment?
And no,
No.
there were moments on the set when we talked, Cameron and DiCaprio and I, and he would imitate various actors so perfectly.
No.
I said, this guy is a born actor. Wow. I was blown away.
Wow.
He did imitations of actors. I mean, my God almighty. Wow. Brilliant. He's a brilliant actor.
So,
Nice man. Brilliant actor.
so you just were in the biggest movie in history.
I didn't know that then. But Army Archerd from Variety, who had interviewed me before for the years,
Yeah.
called me and said, what do you think? I said, I think it's going to be very successful. He says, you're the only one who says that. He says, why? I said, it's a soap opera. It's a soap opera, but a very expensive soap opera.
Yes, exactly.
With wonderful actors.
Yes.
And turned out to be true. Then we came back, I'd finished my stint there. You know, when I drowned, that scene,
Yeah, right.
I was scared shitless, to be honest.
What? How did they put the water? Tell me that.
What happened is this. The night before, the assistant director comes and says, it's up to you. We can use a stunt guy, but James would like to use you walking up the stairs and turn at a certain time when water comes from the ceiling.
Oh, man.
I said, I will do it if we have about 4 or 5 dry rehearsals. I've been in enough action films in my life and television shows to know how one has to rehearse it.
Yeah.
So thank God we did, because there were a number of times that, let's do it again. So finally we were ready to do it, but they couldn't practice with the water. It was only a computer. You understand? Otherwise the whole thing would have drowned.
I get you.
It's all a dry run. So
Right.
now comes the real take. What they didn't know is that when the water came rushing in from both sides, and at a certain point when I turned, 150 tons came through the ceiling.
Oh, my God.
So now the furniture was all over the place. It floats.
Right.
Now before the scene, I see all the camera people, 12 cameras.
Right.
I see the cameramen with diving suits on, oxygen tanks.
Wow.
I said, whoa, what did I get into? When there was a ceiling. Water was getting higher and higher and higher. It went higher and higher and higher. I thought, oh my God. I was panicked.
Ooh, I can imagine.
Really panicked. And then cut.
But you were under the water, like?
Well, partly, not quite, but almost. But I thought, if this, it went higher and higher until they said stop.
Wow.
Till they said cut.
But you don't know that they may not say cut.
You know, accidents happen, as you know. So it was scary.
Wow.
Then after that was all finished, I asked if I could come back with my son, my wife, and his girlfriend. They wanted to see the set. James Cameron couldn't have been nicer.
That's amazing.
Stopped shooting, just come here. He took us to his trailer. We saw the first 5 minutes of Titanic.
No.
And I heard Celine Dion's voice.
No.
Yes. And I said to him, I get goosebumps. I said, you're going to make a fortune. He says, man, from your mouth to God's ear. I certainly hope so. Because they were panicked.
You can feel that.
I could, right then.
Right
I
there.
got goosebumps. I said, you're going to make a fortune. And that was the case.
So now, Eric, you know we have to talk about Y&R, because otherwise I'm going to get in trouble. We talked about everything, but Y&R. How does it feel, Eric Braeden, to just be able to have the same job and be at the level that you are for as many years as you've been doing it?
Well, I could ask you the same question.
I know.
But for me, it is, you know, that I had to really work hard at accepting the medium. When I came in at first, I loathed it.
Yeah.
The amount of dialogue, the speed, and the lack of respect with which they worked, where they would count down. Well, wait a minute. I said, hold a minute. You look at me before you count down. You got that?
Yeah.
I'm on fucking screen, not you.
Right.
When I'm ready, we go. Is that clear? I had to say that a few times the first 2 or 3 years.
Wow.
And I felt what I feel in daytime very often. And the people who work in daytime, they feel a kind of disdain for their own medium.
Yeah.
I used to feel that, and I resented it. I said, what you're doing, you're entertaining millions of people. Have respect for what you do. What you and I do is harder than what anyone who stars in a film does, what anyone who stars nighttime does, what anyone who stars in a theater does.
Yeah.
What you and I do on a daily basis is the hardest job for an actor in this town.
Yeah.
In the business, period, outcome. So I said, start respecting yourselves. In order to earn that respect, don't count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and don't even look at me. I said, are you kidding me? You look at me, then we shoot.
Right.
Is that clear? I don't give a fuck about the technical stuff. We are on screen. Our face is on screen. We are being judged, not you.
What about the stigma
Well,
of daytime that we don't get the recognition? We're like
but
the
then,
last at the totem pole.
but Maurice,
yes,
that is based on ignorance, on not knowing what we do.
I know.
And look, I've done the other.
I know.
I've shot in film, I've
Yeah.
done nighttime,
Right,
I've done
right,
the whole
right.
thing. This is the hardest
Yes,
medium
yes,
in the business.
yeah. One take.
So actors who are in it, be
Yes.
proud of it.
I'm with you there.
Be proud of what you do.
Yes.
Be proud of what you
But
do.
I want the outside to be proud.
To hell with them. I don't
Oh,
give a shit.
You don't
I
care.
don't give a flying fuck.
See,
about it.
you don't care.
I don't care about Hollywood things. I really don't.
That's good.
Couldn't care less.
Right.
I've done it for too many years.
I'm getting there, Eric.
Know what it's all about. I
Right.
couldn't care less.
Right. That's
What
true.
we do, I know what we do.
But you're saying to the actors, embrace it, respect it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Look at Michelle Stafford. She's a wonderful
Yes.
fucking actress. She's a
Yes.
wonderful actress.
Yes.
I mean, so many people that I know. There are,
She hasn't done State of Mind yet. So anyway, go ahead.
right. But anyway, I just,
I'm with you there. I'm with
such respect for what some
Yeah.
actors do.
Yeah.
We have a new kid, Mark Grossman, who plays one of my sons or whatever. And I saw them inundate him with dialogue.
you.
And I looked at the page, I said, my God, I wonder how this young guy's going to do that. Boom.
Bam.
Whoa.
Bam.
My hat off.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And Peter or whoever they are, we do a really hard job, and we do it very well, very often.
And very fast.
Are you kidding me?
Yes.
You know that we are now up to shooting over 100 pages a day. I'm sure you as well. It's insane.
It's insane.
My son, who's a film director
Yes. I'm going to get into
and writer,
that.
right, he says, how many pages?
It's crazy.
I said, over 100.
Yeah.
Sometimes 120 pages a day.
Yeah.
You know how many setups we do? It's insane.
It's
The most I have learned was 62 pages. I don't know about you,
I
the
don't
most.
even know. I don't even know if it's that much, but it seemed like 162 pages
It's
by
just
the time I was
unbelievable.
done. I want to talk about your son because here's the way this goes, and then we're gonna conclude it because this has been like a whole dinner. I got invited by Eric to go see a movie that his son directed called Den of Thieves. Am I right? Yeah, Den of
Yep.
With Gerard Butler, 50 Cent, a few other, many actors.
Right.
And I was like, okay, I'll go to the premiere. And you know, like always, when you go to the premiere, it's like, oh, what if it's not good? And then I got to tell Eric that I got to lie to Eric. You know, I got to be like, Eric, it's good job, man. Good job. So I go with Joshua, my son, who's also just a talent, and everybody knows that but it's the truth. And we go, and I gotta tell you, I'm watching this movie, and it is a great film, and not just like, oh, it's great, you know. No, it's like this thing, and the acting was great. All the actors were great. The story was great. The directing was great. And I said to my son, you know, I said, damn. And the thing is, I didn't have to lie to you, which was great because it was that good. How proud are you?
Very proud. And very proud. he went to UCLA Film School,
Oh,
and he graduated top of his class. He had the actors, they will tell you, he had them work on their scenes, on certain things, on weapons, for 4 weeks before,
dang.
every day, with guys from the CIA, with guys from the LAPD, with guys from SWAT, so that they looked very natural. He learned that from me over the years, the sense of being, or the need to be as real as you can be in
Yes.
business.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we derive joy from. His writing is like that. When he said he wanted to be a writer, the director, I said, you now need to go to acting classes.
Yeah.
You need to feel what we go through.
Mm.
And he did. He could have become an actor. He didn't want that. He wanted to write and direct. And he has a very good ear for dialogue.
Yeah.
Very. And has written many a script. And so that's why he's also a good director. You know, and he knows physicality. He has a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and he does Muay Thai boxing and all that stuff. And so he's a wonderful writer. And he's now preparing the sequel. Oh, he wrote and directed, yeah. Great dialogue. I give you a script one day.
It's
wonderful dialogue. And he's writing a sequel. He has finished writing a sequel, and they're going to do it now. They couldn't do it because of COVID for a while, and because they couldn't shoot in Serbia, in Belgrade.
Oh.
And so now he'll start hard prep, I think in about a month or so. Yeah, very proud of him. Proud of him. It's the best thing I ever did in my life.
Yeah, I mean, and just one son, right? You have grandkids.
3 granddaughters.
Aren't they isn't that just?
Adore them.
I mean, I got 2, and it's
the best.
It's like
the best. It's the best. They call me Opa.
Oh, they did?
So when Tati calls me Opa, my eldest, she was just accepted to a top school, and she graduated with a 4.8 average. Wow. She rides horses. She's an equestrian rider.
Right.
Very smart, but very courageous girl as well. And just, your heart melts. And the little ones,
there's nothing.
Love it. Nothing like it.
Nah.
Nothing like it.
They help me stay at peace.
Yes, absolutely.
Enjoy the whole thing. All right, Eric. Listen, I think we've covered every subject known, more subjects than I have on this piece of paper.
There's so many more. There are so many more. You know.
And I just want to say,
I'm just interested in life.
I know you are.
I'm so interested in so many things. You know, I mean, life is just so.
And Eric, the thing that I can do here in this platform, which I'm proud of, is that we could have real conversations.
Yeah.
It isn't 10 minutes. You're gonna come in and say hi with it. We can just talk. And with daytime actors, as you know, we don't get that opportunity very often.
No.
You know, so
maybe that's good.
It's a good. Yeah, that's true.
All right.
So I just want to say thank you. It's been great listening to you and all your.
Honored to be here, and when the call came, I immediately said yes. I'll do it.
Yes, you did.
Okay? Great respect for you.
Thank you.
Man.
Thank you.